Meanwhile, new data showing more than 240 arrests since the beginning of the crackdown on crime in D.C. Just last night, 38 guns taken off the streets, 52 arrests, of which 28 were illegal aliens. Also, 25 homeless encampments were removed. For more now, let's bring in White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller. Hey, Stephen, thank you for joining us. These are pretty remarkable numbers. Talk to me about it.
The numbers are breathtaking. Since President Trump asserted federal control over our nation's capital in Washington, D.C., we have seen a record number of violent offenders, bad guys, gang members, and all kinds of threats to public safety removed off the street, as well as their illegal weapons that they've been using to terrorize the citizens of this city. Additionally, we have seen over 70 homeless encampments that have scarred and disfigured the public streets of this city, dismantled and thrown away, and the homeless cleared from those encampments. At the same time, we have the National Park Service going around and getting rid of the gang graffiti that has been left untouched by this city for decades. Since I've lived here, I moved to Washington, D.C. 20 years ago. And I've seen graffiti in some of our landmarks that has gone unremoved for decades that is now being cleared away. You have gang members that are being taken off the streets. You have druggies that are being taken off the streets. You have our parks being made safe again, our transit being made safe again. Last night, I had the honor and privilege of being at roll call for all of the federal and state officers that are going out in these task force. They are thrilled to be here. They are thrilled at the local level and at the federal level to be able to have this assignment on behalf of President Trump to make our nation's capital safe and clean again. It really is liberation for Washington, D.C., Griff.
And Stephen, I think what's really fascinating to me as someone that covers a lot of sanctuary city issues across the country, so many of them that are resisting, like LA, like Chicago, like New York, like Boston, but yet here, just in the last 24 hours, it appears that the local leaders here, the mayor and Attorney General Bondi, are going to make D.C. no longer a sanctuary city for violent, illegal criminals. Talk to me about that.
Yes, correct. We have ICE officers that are embedded with local police, making sure that violent, criminally illegal aliens are, for once, taken off the street so they can't hurt anyone anymore. Too many times we have seen stories of criminally illegal aliens, you've covered it so much, Griff, who they get caught and released, until one day they shoot someone in the head, or they rape an innocent girl, or they commit some heinous crime. So here in Washington now, we're finding these criminally illegal aliens, and at the first opportunity, we're picking them up and we're sending them out of the country. You know, the sigh of relief that I have seen from the local communities in this city, you see people going online saying, for the first time that I can remember, I don't hear gunshots ringing out at night anymore. I just saw a video posted by a gentleman who walked from his neighborhood in the southeast all the way to the White House, and he said in the whole way through, he saw no gang members, no violence, no homeless camps, no public drug use. He said it was like living in a different city. President Trump is making D.C. safe, livable, clean, and secure, not just for the people who live here, but for every American citizen whose birthright is to visit our nation's capital, Griff.
And yet we hear President Trump saying that this may be a blueprint for other cities like Los Angeles, like, excuse me, Chicago. But yet this week, when ICE went out after an actual targeted group of criminal aliens outside of Governor Newsom's event, you saw incredible backlash from Governor Newsom, but also from LA's Mayor Karen Bass. I want to play a little bit of that for you and get your reaction.
And they decided they were going to come and thumb their nose in front of the governor's face. Why would you do that? That is unbelievably disrespectful. It's a provocative act. They're talking about disorder in Los Angeles, and they are the source of the disorder in Los Angeles right now. Why is this helpful to anybody at all? At this point, this doesn't have anything to do with immigration at all.
Mayor,
this is about causing trouble in our city.
What do you say, Stephen?
The mayor of Los Angeles and the governor of California were in the largest sanctuary city and the largest sanctuary state in America. They refused to turn over tens of thousands of serial criminal illegal aliens to ICE so they get arrested by state or local authorities and they get cut loose. They then go on to commit crimes like assault, armed robbery, home invasion, and murder. The most unimaginable, egregious crimes you could think of. All of that blood, all of that suffering, all of that heartache, squarely on the soul and conscience of California's governor and the mayor of Los Angeles. They are guilty of crimes against humanity. They are facilitating child trafficking, sex trafficking. Look, they think this is a game. They think this is a joke. This is life and death. When you meet with the families, as you have, Griff, whose loved ones have been raped and killed and slaughtered by criminal illegal aliens who have no right to be in this country, what Newsom are doing and what Bass is doing are unforgivable. And God bless our ICE agents and Border Patrol agents for going out there and doing this mission on behalf and on the orders of President Trump to make America safe for our citizens. The Democrat Party seems to only care about two groups right now: criminals and illegal aliens. And that's it. Donald Trump's Republican Party is fighting for law-abiding American citizens, and you're seeing the results right here in Washington, D.C., where the most violent city that we have in this country is now becoming, day by day, and will become one of the safest cities in the whole country.
Well, as a resident, and speaking to a lot of residents, many of them crime victims I spoke to this week, it is welcomed news to bring in those federal resources to support local law enforcement. Stephen, before I go, I've got to, just in the last minute here, I do, as the Deputy Chief of Staff, want to get your reaction. Got a big meeting coming. President Zelensky on Monday to the White House there on the heels of the historic summit yesterday in Alaska. Can you preview that for us and tell us what we might expect to see?
Well, President Trump has worked tirelessly to resolve the war that started under Joe Biden, that everyone agrees would never have happened if President Trump had been in office, because there was no new wars under President Trump. The world was at peace, is going to be at peace again. So he met with Vladimir Putin yesterday. He had an incredibly productive meeting. At the end of the day, it requires Putin and Zelensky to agree with each other on terms of a peace deal. And the president's been clear, that's what he wants, just a comprehensive peace deal. What's his interest in this? What's America's interest? To stop the killing, stop the bloodshed, stop the slaughter, restore peace and stability. So he's going to meet with Zelensky. He's going to see if he can, again, find that opportunity, that pathway for a comprehensive peace deal, working as well with our European partners in the hopes that we can forge peace. President Biden was responsible for this war starting. Donald Trump is fighting to end it. And as you know, he has already ended 7 wars around the globe. Multiple foreign leaders, we've heard most recently Azerbaijan, has said that this man, this president, needs to be given a Nobel Peace Prize. I have never in my life, not even my life, I have never in modern history seen an American president work so hard and so fast and so completely to make the world a more safe and peaceful place. From here in Washington, D.C. to the furthest reaches of the globe, this is the peace and security president, Griff.
Well, just in the last 20 seconds I've got, were you as surprised as many of us to hear former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton actually say on camera that should this peace agreement be reached between Zelensky and Putin, that President Trump deserves a Nobel Peace Prize? She said she'd nominate him for it.
Well, it was a noteworthy statement. I guess all I can say to that is that the whole world is praying for peace in this region, in Europe, and all sensible people, all people who love humanity and love peace, are grateful to President Trump for fighting and trying and working so hard to end this conflict that we inherited from the previous administration.
All right, Stephen Miller, Deputy Chief of Staff at the White House. Stephen, thank you for your insights and time.
Thank you, my friend.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.